Atmospherics by E.F.Benson and read by Chris Halton. Just now, Ad Astra was clad in its neat serge travelling suit and placed on the seat next to me in the train that was carrying me down to the old Cinque-Port town of Tillingham, where I was to spend the weekend with my friend Harry Armitage. He had lately bought a small 17th century house there, Mayor's Orchard. I had never been to it before and knew nothing whatever of it or of its surroundings, except the rapturous accounts he had given me in his letters. In my kit bag, carefully bestowed between shirts and razor strop, reposed my new 3-valve portable wireless receiver, on whose performance I founded great hopes of entertainment for the party. Harry, genial but sceptical, persisted in regarding wireless as an ingenious, if rather vulgar, toy. His wife Eleanor frankly detested it. Both, however, had accepted the inevitable in inviting me. Snow was falling when we ran into Tillingham station, and the porter who piloted me through the blinding white dusk eyed the black leather case that held Ad Astra with undisguised suspicion. But the little set wasted no time. Before dinner I had an aerial wire slung to a curtain pole, the earth clip fast to a radiator, and the valves glowing crimson behind the ebony panel. After dinner, coffee in hand, we drew chairs round the receiver. I hunted for Daventry, and presently the remote purr of a saxophone crept out. Almost at once the music was overwhelmed by a long roar, like breakers on a shingle beach, and then, distinctly, a human voice. "Stand back! Stand back for His Majesty!" A surging clamour followed. Men cheering, drums beating, fifes squealing. Eleanor smiled. Some historical reconstruction, she supposed, but I touched the tuning dial again, and the volume leapt. "The King comes by the Winchelsea Road," shouted another voice, oddly archaic in accent. "Let the volunteers fire a salute." There was the thunder of guns, and then the band struck up God Save Great George Our King. Harry stared. "George, our King, not our gracious King," he whispered. "That wording is nearly 200 years old." The scene grew clearer every second. I seemed to stand among the crowd that lined the narrow, crooked High Street. Lanterns flaring, soldiers in buff coats and steel caps, the red robes of the mayor and jurats, and overhead the night sky of a long-vanished August. Everyone was shouting, "God bless King George II." As suddenly as it had come, the pageant died. Only the thin hiss of atmospherics remained. The three of us sat silent. Presently Harry laughed a little unsteadily. "Some clever broadcast," he said, "but I've read the Radio Times from cover to cover, and there's nothing of the sort." I tried to recover the wavelength, but could not. We heard a Scottish weather forecast, a fragment of dance music, then nothing but squeals. At Eleanor's suggestion, we switched off and played bridge. Yet all evening that fantastic interlude haunted us. Next morning, while the house still slept, I crept downstairs and switched on again. Ordinary programmes poured in strongly, but nothing out of the past responded. At breakfast, Harry proposed a walk. We paused at the Mermaid Inn, where a plaque recorded that on the 15th of August 1736 George II had landed and taken luncheon. A little farther on, in the church porch, another tablet commemorated the same royal visit, precise to the very day we had intercepted. Back at Mayor's Orchard, we debated explanations. I advanced the theory that wireless waves, striking some stratum of the upper air, might be reflected after incredible intervals, that the voices of 1736, launched by no transmitter but flung into space as sound, had lingered there until the valves of a 20th century set gathered them in. Harry shook his head. "A good ghost story is best left unexplained," he said. Eleanor agreed with the stipulation that Ad Astra should be put away before her next dinner party. So the set is back in its travelling suit, but I keep one notch on the dial marked with a red dot. Some night, when the wind moans off the marshes and the sky is strange with summer lightning, I shall listen again, and if I chance to hear above the atmospherics the distant crack of muskets and a thin long-ago cheer, I shall know that Tillingham is once more welcoming its king. Until then, when the experts frown and say atmospherics, I nod gravely, for after all that is as good a word as any for voices that speak across time. The end.